So disruption and innovation in private equity is a very important topic these days because both the type of business and the macroeconomic level, we are seeing major changes. It's always been an interesting industry for private equity, but now particularly because the online sales is taking over, is just the beginning of a big revolution. Now this is a big challenge for a lot of businesses. For some businesses, also having the pound such a low is an advantage if you're exporting. Other businesses will be more disrupted and therefore private equity can take away. The ability of private equity to survive is exactly to look at what is the source of risk, what is the source of disruption, and where it creates opportunity, where it creates risk. This topic is extremely important. It's going to affect business and the way to do business. And therefore, at the Business School, we held an event exactly to study what's happening and to be informed and to be at the frontier of the change. One of the speakers we had today was Robert Templeman.
I think it's difficult for retail over the course of the next year or so. We've got the Brexit impact, which is going to affect disposable income, and indeed you're starting to see that in some of the retail figures now. I think people have to have a good idea of what's happening all around the world, and from a macroeconomic point of view, as well as a company-specific point of view. Prices are really high at the moment. Yeah, we're seeing companies bought on very big multiples. And I think as the market gets tougher, we'll start to see the market recognise that and multiples starting to come down.
So various speakers compared doing business in US versus doing business in Europe, the various macro trend in US and Europe, but also the way of doing business. Another keynote speaker was Sanjay Patel, who is the head of Europe for Apollo.
The supply of capital to our industry is going to grow, and it's going to grow materially. So institutions throughout the world are giving companies like us, managers, alternative managers like us, more capital, because it's one of the few places in the world to earn better and higher returns than they can in the public markets, either the public equity markets or the public debt markets, because rates are so low. In the European context, where you're navigating a lot of these political risks, I think you have to have a different set of management tools and talent, and a willingness to be flexible, a willingness to make changes very, very quickly. And so we're always focused in Europe about being very nimble. Price is actually a very, very important component of investing. If you buy well, you can navigate a lot of volatility.
I think the private equity world is, for those people that are successful in it, a very, very good place to work. Decision making is fast, communication lines are short, and actually action rather than activity is what I would say the private equity world brings, and speed of execution.
I'm really optimistic about the industry, and I feel that the opportunities ahead of us are significant. But as long as you stay disciplined on your investment style and focus, you will make good returns.
Personally, I'm optimistic about private equity. We are in a period of change and disruption, and private equity has evolved so much since its inception to now. So it will probably, 10 years from now, it will probably not look the same, but it will have different form, but it will have reinvented itself in another successful way.